Good morning, everybody. Thank you for jumping on. We have the honor and the privilege of having Athena on our call this morning. However, Athena has a really bad cold, and listen to how she sounds.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's Athena.
We're not falling for that. Okay, so everybody, Athena could not jump on this morning. So we have the pleasure of not only learning but being entertained by Mr. Zach Lupples, who is a $1 million producer with Family First Life. So I know we are in good hands. I'm going to read the leaderboard, and then we're going to get talking with Zach about staying off the roller coaster. And everybody, we will have Athena on possibly as soon as next week. So she does send her apologies. So this week we had Chris S. with 1 application for 720, Nadia M. 1 application for 900, Dana U. with 2 applications for 1,402, Janine A. with 3 applications, 2,266, Dawn T. with 2 applications for 2,940. We had Donnie C. with 2 applications for 3,108. Myself with 5 applications for 4,807. Jennifer C. Awesome second week here on the board with 5 applications for 5,818. And we had Chantel Weaver topping off the leaderboard with 9 applications for 18,049. Awesome job, Chantel. So, guys, this week we wanted to kind of address one of the harder parts of our business, which is the ups and downs that come along with this. You know, we can sell a big policy and get super excited, and then the next week it could cancel and we have a chargeback, and then we're down in the dumps. And that's just one of the ways we ride the roller coaster. But it's important to stay in the middle, and that's why we wanted to address that topic this week. And I think we have one of the best roller coaster riders of longest, myself, here to help us today, unexpectedly, but we appreciate it. And that would be Mr. Lupples here. So, Zach,
yes,
how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. So I just want to preface that if y'all hear me cussing, that means that somebody cut me off because I'm driving up the interstate right now. But I've already told Paige I would keep it as PG cussing as I can. But hopefully nobody cuts me off, so we won't have to experience that.
All right, so Zach, tell us a little bit about your roller coaster riding days.
So I mean, like the way that I look at the roller coaster, and this is not a fun roller coaster like whenever you go to the amusement park and hold your hands up, scream, and having a good time. This is more like a roller coaster where you throw your hands up in the air with dissatisfaction and scream because you're so frustrated. And I've been on the roller coaster myself lately, so this is a talk that I need to have with myself as well as sharing with you guys. So we're going to talk it out together. And I'm just going to kind of, from my point of view, the things that get me on the roller coaster and trying to work through that. I mean, Paige, do you have any questions first off?
No, let's just dive into it. I totally agree with your description. Right. This is not Six Flags Over Georgia fun.
No, absolutely. This is more like a roller coaster to hell whenever you're on it because it sucks. And I think that the first thing that we need to talk about whenever we talk about the roller coaster is the fickle thing called momentum. Momentum can work for you or work against you, and people think that momentum can't be lost while running a full schedule of appointments, but it can. If you're not dialed in and you're not 100% present with what you're doing and things like that, and really doing all the things that are necessary within this business, and you're running full schedule, or you've got a bad attitude and you're running a full schedule, you can lose the momentum that you've worked so hard to get. And guys, whenever you lose momentum, I mean, it could take you months to recover. I've lost momentum before and been at rock bottom and had to fight my way back, and it's taken me a month to get back up to where I was before I lost it. I think that first off, one of the biggest roller coaster entrance ride fees is leads. So if you do not get out in front of your leads, or if you just keep working the leads, and your lead flow starts to change, or you don't order leads like you should, and you don't get out in front of that, all of a sudden you go to a dial day and you don't have enough leads in order to fill your schedule. So what you do is you dial all day, okay, you set 4 appointments for one day, and then you're so mad because you have only 4 appointments, and everybody who's done this business knows that 4 appointments doesn't work. Like, I don't care how long you've been doing it. I don't care if it's day 1 or if it's year 5. If you go on 4 appointments, the way it goes is 2 ain't going to show up. You're going to miss one, and one other one's going to be a one-way. I mean, it's just the way the numbers work. Like, you can't go out and build a business on 4 appointments a day. It's just not feasible. Like, yeah, every once in a while you might luck up and go out and crush it and get $8,000 on 4 appointments, but it's not something that can be consistently duplicated week in and week out. So, first off, whenever you do those 4 appointments,
let me interrupt you there, because I think that's a really strong point. You were describing my last week 100%, and I think what happens is we can be on the high of the roller coaster, where we are doing so well and closing so many, and whether that's because we walked into houses with the people who already know they need it, whatever the reason is, that you might have 4 appointments in a day, you might sell them all, you might have great premiums and end up with a great, submit annual premium number, but you're exactly right. It's not duplicatable, and I don't mean by other people. I mean week out and week out with you.
Yes, absolutely.
Your next day of 4 appointments, those people might not be the ones that are already smart enough to know they need our help and that they need coverage. They might be the people who, you can't budge for anything. So I want to just reiterate that. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think, Paige, what happens is whenever we do go out and we do sell those 4 appointments for $8,000, all of a sudden we think it's us. We think that we're the reason that we went out and sold that, and that we're so good all of a sudden that, hey, you know what? I can just schedule 4 appointments on Thursday. I'll be fine because Monday I just crushed it on 4 appointments. And like the deal is, it ain't about us. There's nothing about this business besides your activity and your attitude that is about us. Because whenever we go into the house, it's not about us. It's about the family. Whenever we are, servicing these people, it's not about us. Whenever we go out and we make sales, it's not about us. Because what we've done here at Family First Life is we have put together a formula and a process that anybody that can come in here can abide by that process and adopt that process and put it into their business, and they can find results. So it's nothing about anything that I do in the house that's special. It's about the process. But whenever we go out here and we have great success, either early as a new person or, go a week where we just, write 20, 30 grand, just like tear it up, or go on 4 appointments and get $8,000, or whatever the case may be like that, all of a sudden, our human nature kicks in and goes, you know what, I'm the man. I'm the reason why they were buying that insurance. It wasn't because they were laydowns and I got all the laydowns out of this month in 1 week. It was because of what I was doing. So then whenever you get that false security, then you start to kind of be mundane about everything else in the business, from dialing to getting leads to, you know what I'm saying? So like now it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You've got 2 appointments for 2 days of running. Now you start to freak out. So now you're begging people to get in front of them. So then you start setting appointments of people that are, well, I might be there. Hey, call me before you get there. Okay, so then what happens is whenever that starts happening, your stress level goes up, and then the roller coaster ride starts. Because now you don't have enough appointments. Okay, so you're mad at yourself because you sat in your office and you screwed off all morning because, hey, you know what? I just had a good week last week, and I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna crush it again. You know, it doesn't work like that, guys. Like this whole thing is a wash. What do they say? Like it's just a repeat. It's Groundhog Day. Every single week. Wash and rinse. There we go. This is not a wash and rinse type deal from the aspect of, hey, I had an awesome week last week, so that means that you've got to go back out here and you've got to do the same thing that you did to get the results last week this week. So you can't just be like, oh, well, you know what? Like, I'll start dialing at 1 o'clock. I'll start dialing for the afternoon because I'm going to set so many appointments, and you go in there with your chest pumped out, and this business will punk you real quick if you're not prepared. So I think that's one big thing. Like the leads are just so much. I mean, like leads and calls are like air to this business. So like all these calls that we get on and all these calls that we have them for a reason, because they are so important. Because you're going to hear something in one of these calls that's going to make you $100,000. I have no doubt. Just one little tweak to your business. And another thing about this business that I found is that this is a business of small things. And what I mean by that is whenever we make tweaks to this business of, like, if we're talking to you about things that you could do different in the home, you never go in and change your whole in-home. Well, what you do is you take little bitty tweaks, like you may ask a question different, or you may say something, for example, something that really changed my business was I was getting a bunch of people getting declined because of RX. So they kept coming back, RX. And so I asked Whitmore, I said, hey, man, like, I'm getting all these people and they're lying to me. Like, what's going on, man? They're not telling me all their medicine. And he goes, how are you asking them the question? I said, hey, what medicine do you take? He said, stop doing that. Ask them what medicine they got prescribed. Because people quit taking medicine themselves all the time. So they're no longer taking that medicine. So therefore, they don't feel they need to tell you about that medicine because they're not taking it. Because they took themselves off because it made them feel weird. And I was like, huh. So, but it was a small tweak. It wasn't a tear down of my whole in-home, you know. And then, like, something that I need to work on more is affirmations and reading. Those are the small things that you have to adopt, and you have to, you have to commit to in this business, because it's the small things in this business that are huge. You know, it's kind of like I used to use the analogy of a relationship. Like, if anybody's ever been in a serious relationship, you know it's all about the small things. Hey, you know what? Like, the relation or in a relationship that has broken down, it's probably because somebody wasn't doing the small things. They weren't doing the I love yous, you're beautiful. Just little things like that make that relationship grow. It's kind of the same thing with this business. It's those small things that you do, you know, that really push this business to the next level. And it gets that consistency. And that, I think consistency is huge on the roller coaster. And it's the inconsistency that really gets you your front row ticket on the roller coaster. What you got, Paige?
That makes a lot of sense. We don't want to be on the roller coaster. We definitely don't want to be on the front row.
No, absolutely not.
So, Zach, let's go back to what would have been Athena's favorite topic. Do you know what that is without me telling you? You mentioned it already.
What, the self-development?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
why are you laughing, Zach?
Well, I mean, John Whitmore and Athena have been trying to get me to read for the last 4 years. If I had $1 for every time that they have told me, hey, man, you're reading, you need to read, I would be a multi-thousandaire by now in $1 bills, because they have tried to pound that into my head, and, hey, I'm stubborn. I do not like to read. It's like I'd much rather somebody kick me in the groin than me read a book for 15 minutes, it feels like. So I just really don't like it, but it's something that I know that I've got to commit to, because I find myself back in the same exact place because I really haven't changed anything. And Athena's always like asking me, hey, Zach, like seriously, I want you to sit down and I really want you to think about what you have changed. Because remember how I said that you get thinking it's all about you? Like what I do is I've had a lot of success at this thing, and I haven't done self-development in the past. So what my mindset is whenever she's talking to me about reading and doing affirmations, I always go back to, well, I wrote 300,000 2 years ago, and I wasn't doing any of that because I'm that good. So why am I not performing now the way that I was whenever I was doing all that? Like, what's changed between now and then? And I think that what's changed is me, that I need that self-development now, to whereas maybe I didn't need it then, because I've progressed farther in the business and I've grown as a person, but I need that extra fuel for my growth and to continue my growth and to really maintain the growth that I've had. Because I think what happens is if you don't do those things and you have grown exponentially over a couple of years and you're not still feeding that growth, it starts to die. And you start to regress and go back to before you even started to grow. And I think that affirmations, they really do help. Like being grateful, smiling. Like if I'm having a bad day sometimes and I get down, I just smile. But I start going, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, until I get that weight off of my shoulders. Because I'm like Lindsay doesn't work, so I'm the sole provider for my family. And that is a lot of pressure sometimes, especially whenever you're going down the big hill on the roller coaster, and you're getting charge back after charge back after charge back. Like every piece of business that you're turning in is going back to charge back, so you're not getting paid, and your bank account starts going backwards, and you're in charge back hell, and here you go. And then you start getting frustrated, and then you're not reading, and you're not doing that self-development, and you get super negative. You start doing stuff like watching the news and talking to other negative people, and how'd your day go? Oh, man, my day sucked too. Because misery loves company. And you're going to seek out those people that are not positive whenever you're not positive. You're going to seek out people that are just as negative as you are, those people that comfort you by wallowing in your misery. Because there are a bunch of those people out there, and they're real easy to find. Or what you'll do is you'll stop talking to the people that can pull you out of the hole, and you go as like a recluse or a hermit, and you just go inward. Because I know that whenever I've been doing terrible at this business, the things that I do is I cut everybody else off. I need to work through this myself. Those are the things that I'm thinking in my mind. I need to work through these things myself. I don't want to talk to them because I don't want them to see me negative. Instead, that's the time that I should be talking to those people, and I should be talking to those positive people. Even though I'm down, I need to be talking to those people so they can give me a hand up, because those people are sure as hell not going to push me back down. But what do? We cut them all off. I can handle this myself. I'm a big boy. Put on my work boots. Like all these little cliches go running through your mind. But the thing that you need to be doing is reaching up for help. Does that make sense, Paige?
Oh, my gosh, that just described me. The first year that Athena and I were getting to know each other and she was mentoring me, there were, like, long periods where we wouldn't talk. And, you know, she would send me a text. I know what you're doing. We need to talk. And she would, you know, help me come around. And the more that we talk now, if even a day goes by, she'll text me, "What's happening? You're not taking my calls." So
yeah.
I am really mad about
it. She does that because I've been the runaway gangster. Like, I'm the worst. I will go ghost.
I just draw in, you know.
I mean, totally. I will go ghost in a heartbeat. Like, hadn't heard from Zach in 3 days. You know what I mean? And another thing, while I'm thinking about it, is, dang, I just lost it. I had a good one. Go ahead, Paige.
That's okay. Well, I was just going to say, I tend to be a turtle and draw in. And then, like you said, all those thoughts are going through your head, especially, you know, when you've just come off a big success, and then all of a sudden you feel like you got momentum on your side. It's just like you described it, and then it's just a slight change in your brain that you may not even notice, and then all of a sudden you're struggling. And, you know, let's break this down for new people, Zach, because we got a lot of new people on our team, and so many of them have shown so much talent and such a caring heart for going out there and helping families, but they're riding the roller coaster. So what is the advice you would give them as a new person?
I mean, like, make sure that you got enough people to go see, first off. You know, like, I mean, you can be as good as this as you want to. Embrace the fact that it's not you. Okay, just like I was talking about earlier, like I've seen new people, and what happens a lot of times with new people is they start off red hot because they are so excited that they go out there and they're just so grateful to be, you know, for the opportunity, and they see all the numbers that everybody's putting up, and they get so fired up about it. They go out these first 2 weeks and they crush it, $5,000, $7,000, third week, $1,400. And they go, well, what the heck happened? I'm doing all the same stuff I was doing, but like what people, like brand new people need to realize is those first couple of weeks you are so fired up. The way that this business works is all this business is a transfer of mindset. That's all it is. Whenever you're going into that house, what you're doing is you're transforming, like you're trying to get those clients to think like you think. Whenever you hire new people into this business, you're trying to get them to think like you think. The faster that the new agent can think like the mentor, the faster they will have a constant success, and they will have consistency because they adopt that mindset of whoever that mentor is. It's the same thing in the house. So whenever you're brand new, you're so fired up and you're so grateful for this opportunity. Your excitement, it translates to those clients, and they buy insurance from you. Okay, because like it's not because you know how to build value. It's not because you're an expert at the product. It's not because you're just such a great salesperson. It's because you're so enthusiastic about it, and you believe wholeheartedly 1,000,000% in it because it's brand new, and you're so grateful and so fired up to be out there in the field that energy transfers to those clients. That's also why you see a lot of people at first, they get a lot of chargebacks because they don't know how to build the value. Because they're selling on that emotion and that excitement they have for the business is being transferred to those clients, then in a couple of days, and whenever they get that first bill, they're like, I don't think we can afford this. We're going to call and cancel. And then that step back is natural because what's happening is it's like the honeymoon phase gets over with this business real quick and reality sets in. Now all of a sudden you're going out there and you're not as enthusiastic and you're not as happy and fired up about it. You've got a couple of weeks up under your belt where you've done good. You've got that false sense of, hey, it's me. And then what happens is your skill level not up to where it needs to be, and it shows. So every single new agent I'll watch, they'll take off and then they'll have a setback. But that setback is nothing but a reset, and it is time to start learning how to do this business properly. Because like I'm always telling my new agents and new agents that come into this thing, hey, the first 100 appointments are your learning curve. Okay, so like that first 100 appointments, you never can get mad about not making sales. Like I get it. You want to be writing more insurance. You want to be helping more families. I get that. This is your first 100 appointments, bro. Like you're learning. Like we're going to make you money while you're learning over these first 100 appointments. Now, the thing is you can make that 100 appointments last 6 months, or you can make that 100 appointments last a month and 2 weeks. That choice is up to you because within that first 100 appointments, you're going to get every objection that you're going to get. You're going to get every situation you're going to get throughout the rest of this business. Maybe not all the medical situations that you'll get into, but we've been on enough appointments to where we've had just about everything that we could figure it out for you. So whenever you're in that first 100 appointments, the thing is like, bro, you learn it. Like, don't beat yourself up. Don't get mad because you missed something. Like, take it as a learning experience. Because we can't teach you everything. You've got to go out there and you've got to get yourself in those positions to see how you react and how they react. It's just part of the learning process. Does that make sense, Paige?
It definitely does. It definitely does. And that is great advice. And Zach, I've got a page full of notes here. I needed to hear this as much as you needed to hear yourself say it to us.
Man, I needed that.
Are you there? Any questions for Zach before we end? Chantel, you there? All right, she's maybe muted. Anyway, Zach, listen, you were right on target here, and I really appreciate your last-minute switch to help out our team. And
yeah, not a problem.
I hope that it helps you as much as it's helped me, and hopefully everybody is listening in. So, absolutely. All right, guys. As always,
trusted me with your team.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Zach. No doubt about that. And Zach will be in Charleston on the 15th, training there. I know we're going to have several of you guys there. I know like Charles and Kayla and Jeff. We got a handful. Hopefully, Chris, Dawn. So we're going to have some of our team there, Zach. So you'll get to meet some of these people face to face.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Come up and say hi to me.
100%. Most approachable man in this entire business, Zach. Thank you again for pouring into our team. Everybody reach out to me and Chantel for anything, especially requests of what you would like to hear on this training call. Go make it a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.
See you guys.